Hello guys and welcome to a new video. The first video of the Europe NA beta of Losark. I'm really happy for that because this means we're really close to the release, which is coming in early 2K22. We don't really have an exact date yet, but I'm really hyped for this. For those guys who don't know me, I am Smerlowtv. I played this game already a lot in Russia, where it is released already since a longer time. I played the most content over there, so I know a little bit what I'm talking about. And yeah, for those players that play in Korea and Russia, a lot of stuff has changed over here, which not really has to do with our content release, although we get a bit different release than Korea, Russia, and Japan had. Although it is more based on the new content update that's over there, which is fairly new. It's not so new in Korea anymore, but it's fairly new to Russia. So they removed like some raids. They changed a bit the gear score progression for tier 1 and tier 2 content, which is the content we get. Well, we basically just get tier 1 content at the start, and then later on at some point tier 2 content. Because of that, I made already some guides in Russia, but they are basically nearly all outdated because of their things. So I just decided to make those guides first again. Well, this guide is about the gear progression and how you want to do that, how you want to be efficient. Although, since I'm pretty sure a lot of new players are going to watch this video, because gear progression is something everyone cares about, right? I just want to go real quick over the level phase, which is just taking like 1 or 2 minutes. I just want to like show you two strategies that are easy to make. So first of all, the game is pretty straightforward. So that means you just hop from quest to quest. As a casual player that just want to care about the story, just do the main story quest and the side quest. It just gives you a lot of information about what is going on in Acrasia. Although if you want to rush, so this was basically the first method already, just do everything. You don't really have to worry about anything. It probably makes your playthrough like 3 or 4 hours longer. Or not even, like maybe like 2 or 3 hours. I never really done that, so don't really know, but it's something around that. Although if you want to rush it, which is then basically around 12 hours to 15 hours, you just do the main story quest line. And this is basically also really easy to understand. So the main story quests are orange quests. So you're gonna do that from here to Yudia, to West Luthera, to East Luthera. And at some point, you get a quest where you have to sail to Tortog. Like a main story quest, right? And this quest turns to be into a world quest. And from that point on, your world quests are your main story quests. So you're gonna do all the main story quests in Tortog, all the main story quests in Annika, while just ignoring all the other side quests. And then when you come to Arthurtine, you need to reach 49 and a half. And in Arthurtine, then you're just gonna do also for the rushes, you're gonna do all the side quests, all the main story quests. Because again, you need to hit 49 and a half, and it's only possible if you do that in every area. And then once you have 49 and a half and you completed the storyline until you have to sail to Vern, then you basically sail over here. You're gonna make like 3 or 4 quests over there. You hit level 50 and then you can do the end content. It is important that you hit level 50 there because you can just accept the next quest if you are level 50 and you want to do that. So if you don't hit level 50 over here, you need to sail back and check again where you missed some side quests. In a worst case scenario, you can also like go then to Annika and do side quests, but if you've done everything right, that's not needed at all. So just do everything in Aftertime and you're gonna be completely fine. Although, when you're level 50, you're probably gonna end up be gear score 250, which is the recommended item level to do a Chaos Dungeon. To enter your first Chaos Dungeon, you can press J, and then under guides, you have somewhere here a quest that's called Chaos Dungeon something. And you need to click on it to make yourself able to like enter Chaos Dungeons. Before you don't have done the guide quests, you cannot enter them. For Chaos Dungeons, I don't want to go too specific into the mechanic of those or whatever. Just real quick, they drop materials to upgrade your gear. They drop ability stones, which is, well, like a jewel or whatever, you can have equipped ones. They give you a lot of vitality and engravings. What engravings are, we're gonna do another guide for that. Engravings is basically passive bonus, and obviously also your Chaos Dungeon gear, which is 302, and it's 302 in every of those. Just the accessories are get better. They don't give you gear score, but they're also really good, and with the right stats, they're gonna push your character a lot farther, so don't underestimate those. Like, also make sure that you always have good accessories, which basically just makes the game a lot easier against bosses and whatnot. And that's like the main stuff you can drop there. You can also drop cube tickets, but that doesn't really matter for the progression now. You still want to do them, but that's something else. The 4 Chaos Dungeons, it's basically a solo dungeon instance, so you can do them solo. You can, although, do them with friends or with randoms. So again, if you are 240, you cannot click on matchmaking, so you cannot play with randoms. You can click on enter with premates or solo. And if you are 250, you can also click on matchmaking, which basically just puts you in a party with randoms. It doesn't really change anything on the loot if you do it alone or with players, but it is really easy. So if you have no friends, I know that sounds terrible, but don't matter, all of us don't have friends, so you're not alone. We can just click on enter, and it's going to be really easy, even if you're 240. Make sure to have potions when you enter it. The normal ones, the green ones, you don't care. You don't want to use them there because you want to use them later. So you can just like put the green potions out of your bar here. So normally they're in here, you don't want to use them, put them out. It's good so you cannot click by mistake on them, because you need them later for guardian raids and whatnot. Because there you cannot use your normal potions. And but in Chaos Dungeons you can. Also, something that's mentionable is once you hit level 50, you can do your awakening quest, so you get an extra skill, which is your ulti, your overkill skill, whatever you want to call it, basically awakening skill. And it does a lot of damage mostly, and is really, really good for all the classes. So you want to get that one, and to get it, you just need to port to Trison with your song. So if you press F2 in-game, you can just click on the Song of Trison, you come to Beatrice, and she gives you directly a quest. Once you hit level 50, you do that quest, you get an awakening skill, and then you're over prepared for the first Chaos Dungeon. Don't really worry about that, even if you have 240 gear score. You click on enter, you kill everything. Chaos Dungeons is just like killing a bunch of monsters, a little boss monster. Sometimes there's a portal in between where you can like find a goblin that drops gold and even more materials. If you get that, you are lucky. They're not really hard though. Back then in Russia, because I didn't face that yet in Europe, so I don't really know if that even exists. Back then in Russia, there was also sometimes a little boss fight in between that was a bit harder. So if you get that one, like after the second stage, and you have like just one boss to fight against, and he is really hard, don't worry about that. You probably just got kind of unlucky for your first Chaos Dungeon, because it's nearly impossible to kill him. But the chance is really, really low that you face him anyways. And I don't even know if it still exists though. But in case it does, and if you fail it, like, don't be frustrated. It was just an unlucky run, I would say. Although you want to complete this 2 times, because 2 times per day gives you more loot. You can do it after this over and over again. You got just way less material, so it's not really worth it. Although, once you completed the 2 Chaos Dungeons, you should have your full set of gear, like a weapon, a helmet, a chest, legs, gauntlets, and your shoulders. And once you have that, you basically upgrade your gear, and I can show you where that is. Basically on this hammer, which is called gear honing. I don't have like the blue Chaos Dungeon gear right now. I just have purple gear, but it's the same. I just want to like show you how it looks like, right? Basically, I just gonna show it again, just with the epic gear that I have, right? It's from Void Dungeons, and we explain you soon where you can get it from. So for that, you need to have materials to upgrade it. Something I just forgot over there where we was looking at the Chaos Dungeon window, but I can also explain it now. It's basically because that's also a change. normally in Russia and Korea, you had guardian stones like the blue stones here in a lower version, in a mid version, and in a higher version. To like upgrade the higher gear, you needed the higher ones. To upgrade the mid gear, like +5 or so, you needed the middle ones and whatnot, right? The same for destruction stones, the same for leap stones. Although this has been changed and everything just has like one stone now. So there's nothing else than the normal guardian stone fragment. So that means the higher gear just costs a lot more. If you see here, wait, let's show it with a chest. We need 285 guardian stones for a +8 chest to go +9. And here it is 90, so it is clearly more that you need, right? So just to show you that. And this is up to Rondel, you need the same materials, so doesn't matter what content you do, you always drop stuff for your progression. Although, the higher content you do, the more materials you get. So if you can do higher chaos dungeons already, always do the highest one that is available for you. So you just get like more materials to upgrade your gear even faster. Although when you upgrade it, you can click here on upgrade when you have the materials. It shows you here, right, what you need. You click on upgrade. Once you upgraded it, you can click on gear honing. You will get a second window I cannot show you right now because I don't really have like anything that's ready to it. So I don't have the mats for my main gear. It will show you an extra window which tells you like the success chains of the gear. And there's another window like with stones inside of it. It's just like another material. I don't know if I have them in my stash right now. It doesn't looks like, no, sadly not. Well, it's just like another material that can increase the success chain. So if it is 100%, you don't have to worry about that. You just click on upgrade and it be successful 100%. If you have like 75% success chains, you can use the stones to push it up to 100% again. Well, at some point, the stones are not able to like to push it to 100% again. So there is a chance at some point to fail your gear. Although you don't have to worry about that, we are not like in Metin or whatever games, you know, where you can destroy your gear. If I would upgrade my +9 weapon to +10 now, and it doesn't work because it has, I don't know, a success chance of 80% and I got unlucky, I just need to pay the materials again. It still stays on level 9 and I can try again to get it +10. Plus, I get a bit higher success chance for the next try. So if it was 80%, the next try is probably like around 85%. So at some point you will also get it. It's just like, you know, you can be unlucky, so you need more materials. But that's all about it. You don't lose your gear, so you don't have to worry about it. And that's a normal upgrade system. And now let's go real quick to Void Dungeon. We just need to port over there real quick. So I just want to show you the mats that we get there. Well, I just call them Void Dungeons because the name was in Russia like that. It is nowadays Abyss Dungeons. So Abyss Dungeons are the 4-man dungeons though. So they are group content. The bosses actually have mechanics. So if you fuck them up, you can actually get one-shotted. So it is a lot harder content. You want to have like a group that know what's going on, or you just like teach them. Because I'm gonna make guides where I explain everything and how you do them with randoms and whatnot. So we go really in depth into that. So make sure to watch them as well, right? But for now, we don't really go in depth into it. I just wanted to show you we get again accessories, which is again, don't underestimate them, engraving books and ability stones. Also legendary cards. Card sets are also really good, so they give you bonuses permanently if you equip them. So it's also like passive bonuses you can equip for certain boss fights. Some give you resistances, some give you crit damage and whatnot. That will be another guide, so again, I don't really go deep into it, but yeah, it's also really great if you get those. And you always get Knight's Oath, which is basically the material to craft the epic gear that I'm wearing right now. When you come higher in the item level, 460, you get the same but in legendary. This is for legendary gear instead of epic gear. So basically legendary is orange, my gear is purple at the moment. I have the gear score for it, but I haven't done the storyline quest yet. I'm just about to do it, but I wanted to do the guide now, so I didn't want it to wait. It's basically in Roandel, which is the current endgame. So if I have done the storyline, I can do this dungeons, get this materials, and then I can do my legendary gear, which will be then my final gear for now, until we get the next patch, upgrade, whatever, right? So we just go back with the information that we can drop Knight's Oaths over here. And what we're gonna do now is basically we go to the Craft Abyss equipment. A little tip, in case you are staying in another town or so, you can write in here Craft Abyss equipment and it will lighten up on your map. So if you stay on another town and you don't know where these NPCs are, you can just use this function, which is really, really great. And you can just like find them easily like that. So if we look over here, let's just check with the normal gear. A weapon always costs a bit more materials and the gear always costs 2 Knight's Oath. So let's say you wanna make the chest, right? So first of all, this gear has set bonuses. So if you have 2 items of this set, you're gonna get, for me, 8% attack speed. If I have 5 items, I get 10% add additional damage. So the more items we have, the more bonuses we have, which is really great. And you want to like get that gear as fast as possible. So if you are 340 gear score, you can do the void dungeon, you can get the materials, and then you can craft it. Other than the materials, it just costs 1000 silver. So it doesn't really cost anything basically. You just get the materials, you can craft it one time, and you have it forever. The silver is whatever. As you can see, I have 500,000 silver. This is not like a beta mechanic where we get boosted. You really gonna have that amount of silver. Even more. I had like 1 million. I just used them for like different stuff and test things and whatnot. Also some other people from us have 2 million. So this 1k silver doesn't mean a lot to you. Don't worry about that. Although with the knowledge also that silver doesn't cost a lot, I'm gonna show you something else. Because once we have this gear, right, our Chaos Dungeon gear is basically +4. And our chest is +0 again. So that means our chest is in item level, again, lower than the Chaos Dungeon gear. For that, we have this option here, Gear Transfer. Well, I'm gonna show it to you now with the Epic gear that I have, because it's gonna work the same with Chaos Dungeon gear. So basically, you crafted your chest, right? Which is from the Abyss Dungeon, From the Abyss Dungeon. So you're gonna click on that, and then for you guys gonna have your Chaos Dungeon gear here, your blue gear, but it's exactly gonna work the same. So you can click on that, and what you can do is basically, I'm just gonna call it now Chaos Dungeon gear because that's normally your step. So your Chaos Dungeon gear is, well, let's say +8, and you want to transfer it into this, right? So you want to get this stats, the 1419 fist defense, as an example, on this chest with the set bonuses. And all the other stats, of course, as well. So you're gonna put your Chaos Dungeon gear over here, and the chest that you want to have as end result over here. And then this will be your end result. So basically, what you're gonna see is that your new Epic gear is basically +8. You destroy the old Chaos Dungeon gear because you don't need it anyways anymore. And you get all the stats over here, plus the set bonus, plus the bonus effects, which are also higher over here than on the Chaos Dungeon gear. So even like the chest itself comes directly with a bit more bonus effects. So you get this, and all what it costs is 2400 silver. Well, since you see here that it also works on Epic gear, it's gonna be the same later on Legendary gear. And for Legendary gear, there are 2 different sets. So if you pick the wrong set, you can always change it here for just like a little amount of silver. It's never gonna cost gold or whatever. So you don't really have to worry about anything. You can like always put your stats on a chest that you believe it's better. And you don't have to worry about like destroying the wrong item or whatever. And so on, you can just get this gear directly. That's also why I recommend to like, when you are 340 and you are able, of course, to do the Abyss Dungeon, you get the materials, you want to switch directly as fast as possible to your Void Dungeon gear, because You can just do that for 2400 silver, which doesn't really cost anything, and you get the set bonuses, which makes you a lot stronger. And then obviously you go to 460, do the storyline in Rorandel, and then it's basically going to be the same again. You do the Void Dungeons, you get your legendary gear, you choose between one of two sets. When you decided which one you want, you're gonna craft it. You're gonna put the stats from your old epic gear to your new legendary gear, like the plus levels, and you're done. That's gonna be your end game gear for now. I mean, obviously, the gear is going to be upgradable once we get a new content patch. No one knows how fast we will get it. But even as a free-to-play player, because if you like spend money, you can progress a bit faster, right? You can like buy materials and stuff like that. But even as a free-to-play player, you're gonna have enough time to like just reach the gear. And if you're like worried about reaching the gear before we get the next content update, you can just play a second character as an alt. You can make the same class if you don't want to play another thing, like another class, or you can just play another class. And you can tunnel the materials from him also to your main character, because the most of the materials are going to be tradable. There are like some specific areas where you just get bound materials, so you can only use them on the character, but the most of them are tradable. As you can see, well, these are tradable, these are tradable, those are bound as an example, so I can only use it on this character. But everything that's tradable, I can just throw it to my main and I can upgrade him faster. So this is, well, as a free-to-play player, you probably want to play like one or two alts for your main if you like want to progress also really fast. But it's not needed, but it makes it definitely easier. So I would always recommend to like do at some point one or two characters more. But yeah, that's it for the progression. I hope that was helping you guys a lot. And if so, just like if you want to see anything, like any guides or whatever, or you didn't understood everything or whatever, just make a comment in the comment section below the video. I always gonna reply. Sometimes it takes like 10 hours because I'm sleeping. Other than this, I'm there. So don't worry about that. We're gonna cover everything of your problems. And I hope you're guys gonna have a nice start when we get the release. And yeah, see you guys the next time. Bye bye.